They have gone for emission trading.
Right.
Is that a possibility?
Yes, I think we need both. There are those who say we have to choose either a CO2 tax or a cap and emissions trading system. The advantages of an emissions trading system include the fact that it can be implemented globally, whereas tax policy is different in every single country. I think that in my country we would benefit from the tax shift that I mentioned and a CO2 tax, but I also believe that we should be a part of the global emissions trading arrangement that's embodied in the Kyoto Protocol and that has been illustrated by the European emissions trading system, which after a rough start has now been improved to the point where it actually is quite effective now. And when the offsets have integrity and have accountability, they actually do drive effective reductions of CO2 all around the world.
But can you really get a system of emission trading globally?
Yes, in Europe it is already beginning to work quite effectively, and when the U.S. joins an emission trading system, I think the world economy will make a profound shift that requires taking into account the carbon consequences of all economic activities. And when the U.S. begins to provide leadership, it will become much more likely that China and India and other nations in the developing category will also join in this treaty.
You say when U.S. join.
Yes.
I would rather put if U.S. join.
Well, I understand why, and when I use the word when, I'm consciously expressing my optimism that the next president who takes office in January of 2009 will face a demand from the people to make this the top priority. If I do my job correctly in the next 500 days, whoever is elected president is going to face an overwhelming demand from the American people, regardless of party, that this crisis be the top priority for the new president. Already, the new Congress has begun to pass laws that include binding reductions in CO2. That process is now underway. Already, many of our state governments, including California, have put in place laws that require reductions in CO2. Already, 500 U.S. cities have embraced the Kyoto Protocol on their own. Many of our largest corporations are calling for binding reductions in CO2. So the reluctance of the White House, which is famous around the world or notorious around the world, is not the end of the story. Other parts of the United States of America are moving forward even without the White House. And as that process continues, I do feel confident that a year and a half from now, when the new president takes office, there will be the conditions present that allow and require the speedy movement toward the U.S. joining the rest of the world community and then leading the world community.